come to this Theban land. I, Dionysus, son of Zeus, born from Semele, the daughter of Cadmus, who brought me forth through deadly, lightning-flashing fire. Now I've assumed the shape of a mortal from my godly form, and I am here at the streams of Dirce and the waters of Isthmus. I see here the tomb of my thunder-stricken mother, and near it the ruinous wreckage of her home, smoking with the still living flame of the fire of Zeus, Hera's undying offense against her. I praise Cadmus, who makes the shrine of his daughter sacred, untrodden. I rapture myself in the great bearing shoots of the vine. But I have come here to this Greek city after traveling through the rich lands of the Lydians, the Phrygians, the sun-stricken plains of the Persians and the Bactrian walls, and traversing the entire salty coast of Asia and the wintry land of the Medons and blessed Arabia, hosting Greeks and foreigners alike in its beautifully towered cities. But I cried out first in this Greek land of Thebes, with a holy fawn skin on my back and a thyrsus in my hand, a weapon of ivy. After I've settled and danced my rites abroad, I had to appear here, manifesting as a god to mortals. But when my aunts, and who are they to talk, rumored that I, Dionysus, was not born from Zeus, but that my mother Semele had bedded some mortal and blamed her bedchamber sin on the god, a trick of Cadmus. They boasted that she had lied about her encounter and that Zeus had killed her. So I stung them from my mother's city in madness, and they now live on the mountain out of their minds. I compelled them to wear my ritual garments, every kindred daughter of Cadmus, the entire female line. I drove them mad from their houses, and they now sit together under sunny rocks, under green pines. For it is necessary that this city learn, even if it does not wish to, that it is uninitiated in my rites. I defend my mother Semele by appearing as the god she bore to Zeus. But then Cadmus abdicated his seat and his honor to his grandson Pentheus by his daughter Agave. Pentheus, who fights the divine and never warms me libations and always refuses to worship me in his prayers. I will prove to him and to all Thebans the god that I am. But once I've settled things here, I'll set my feet in a new land, revealing myself. But if the Thebans, angry, decide to try and displace the Bacchae from the mountain, well, I'll simply lead an army of Maenads as their general. That's why I've come here in this shape, assuming the form of a man. But you, women, you who come from the barracks of Lydia, from holy Tibulus, you are my happy band. You have come here as my followers and my companions. Raise the native Phrygian drum, the invention of both Mother Rhea and I, so that the city of Cadmus may finally see. Now I'm off into the folds of Mount Pythiron, off to where my Bacchae are, and will share in their dances.
From the land of Asia, from holy Toulon, I move quickly to do my sweet work for Bromius. Toil, easily toiled, calling out the pocket. Who is in the way? Who? Let him stay away, indoors. Let all devote their lips to purity. For I will always sing to Dionysus in custom. Oh, he is blessed, he who is fortunate enough to know the initiations of the gods, keeps his life pure and brings his soul into Bacchic company, celebrating Bacchus in the hills with holy purifications, and who, practicing the rites of great Mother Cybele, brandishes the thyrsus, garlanded with ivy, and stirs Dionysos. Go, Bacchae, lead Bromius, child of a god, down from the Phrygian mountains to the spacious streets of Greece. Bromius,
whom his mother cast from her womb by the burden of labor pains, the thunder of Zeus flying, giving birth, leaving life by the blow of a thunderbolt. And immediately Zeus, son of Cronos, took the child to a safe place for birth. He covered him with his thigh, binding him in pins made of gold, hidden from Hera.
And he gave birth, at which point fate was fulfilled, and he bestowed the bull-horned god with a crown of serpents, for which reason we Maenads throw our wild hunt upon our locks of hair.
oh Thebes, nurse of Semele, crown yourself with ivy, fill with the fruiting greenery of oak, and be full of Bacchic frenzy. With branches of oak or fir, put on white garments of wool around your spotted fawn skin, and be made holy by the violent fiercely.
And immediately all the earth will dance, and anyone who leaves the band of Bromius
To the mountain!
To the mountain! There the crowd of women wait, stung from their weaving by Dionysus. Oh, lair of the maidens, sacred streambeds of Crete, parents of Zeus. There the Cornantes with their triple plume, discovered for me in their caves. A drum.
And in their strange revelry, they mixed with the sweet-sounding winds of the Phrygian outlaws, and put into the hand of Mother Rhea. A shout from the Bacchae resounded,
And frenzied satyrs fulfilled the rites of the mother goddess, and joined into the dances of the triennial festival, which Dionysus celebrates.
Oh, he's sweet in the mountain whenever he falls to the ground after the running dance, wearing the sacred dress of the fawn skin, hunting the blood of slaughtered goats. Oh, raw joy! Hastening to the Phrygian mountains, leading, and the leader is Bromius! And the ground flows with milk, and flows with wine, and flows with the nectar of bees. Like frankincense from Syria, Bacchus, holding up the flaming firebrand of pine from the Thyrsus, runs quickly around, rousing the waterers with shouting and flailing, and throwing his delicate locks into the air. At the same time, he roars a bacchanalian shout. Go, O Bacchae! Go, O Bacchae! With the luxury of Toulon, with streams of gold, celebrating Dionysus under the loud-sounding kettle drums, exulting in joy, the god of joy, with Phrygian crying and shouts. Whenever the melodious holy flute roars its sacred sound, in accord with the wanderers, to the mountain! To the mountain! And then, like how a foal gives pasture with its mother, the Bacchae lead their swift, with winds and leaves.
Who's there at the gates? Go call Cadmus, Agenor's son who left the Cyclopean citadel to build beautiful Thebes. Someone go! Tell him Tiresias is looking for him. He knows why I'm here. We have plans, you see. Plans to decorate the Thyrsus, put on fawn skins and crown our gray heads with ivy.
Tiresias, my dear friend, I heard your voice from inside the house. A wise voice for a wise man. I've prepared, wearing this dress of the god. For it is necessary to him, you see, to be glorified as much as possible. He is my grandson, after all. Dionysus the god. Oh, where am I to dance? Where am I to place my feet and shake my silvery head? Guide me, Tiresias, for you are the wise one. I will not grow weary, not by night nor day, shaking my Thyrsus to the earth.
Me too, old friend. I feel like a boy again. I can't wait to try the bucket dance.
Shall I call a chair?
No, no. I wouldn't be as honorable to the god.
I will guide you like a student, shoulder to shoulder, one old man to another.
The god will lead us there easily.
Are we the only ones going?
Yes, we are wise. The rest, chosen born.
Our hesitation is great, but take my hand.
Here's my hand. Hold it tight.
I would not disdain the gods, being a mere mortal, nor try to question their existence.
Indeed, no wise man should. These traditions handed down to us from our forefathers, No line of argumentation can overturn them, nor any clever device found in the deepest recesses of the mind. Do you think someone will say I feel no shame for my old age as I prepare to leave my head and dance? No, for God does not discriminate, dear friend, the speeches for the young or for the old to dance. He wishes the same honor from us all. He's not picky about who it is that glorifies him.
I will become an interpreter for you, since you cannot see the light. Empty is hurrying to the house now. Son of Epion, you know him, to whom I gave control over the land. Red face he is. I wonder what news he brings.
I just so happened to be gone from this land when I heard of new evils upon the city. I heard that our women have left home. I heard that they're warped by Bacchic frenzy. I've heard that they're dashing around in the shadowy mountains, honoring this new deity Dionysus, whoever that agitator is, with dances. Wine bowls stand filled in the midst of that hysteric dancing. And I've even heard that sometimes they'll sneak away to serve another man's bed, one in one direction and one in another, by the excuse that they are some Maenad priestesses. But clearly they hold Aphrodite about this new Dionysus. I mean to seize as many as I can and keep them as servants in the common chambers. And for the ones that are already gone, they'll be hunted from the mountain of Ino and Agawe, for starters. My own mother, who bore me from Achaeon, and the mother of BACCHAE on Autonomy, I stay. And once I've caught them in an iron net, then I will put a stop to this Bacchic frenzy immediately. They say some man has arrived, singing strangely and hailing from Lydia, with perfumed hair and the wine-dark tendencies of Aphrodite in his eyes, who day and night is seducing and showing his mysteries to these women. If I can ever seize him, I will stop him from shaking that stupid fierceness, because I'll have cut his neck from his body. He claims Dionysus to be a god, that he was sewn in the thigh of Zeus, that he was consumed by the flame of torches along with his thunder-stricken mother, because she lied about her marriage to Zeus. Is this not worthy of terrible execution, to insult me with offenses, whoever he is? Now this is some circus. I see the prophet Tiresias with his spotted fawn skin, and my grandfather, the weak old man, carrying that silly stick. I despise you, Cadmus. Clearly your mind is plagued with age. My, won't you shake off that ivy? Why don't you free your hand and release the Thyrsus, dear old grandfather of mine? And I know you persuaded him to do this, Tiresias. You wanted this. You presented this new god to us so that you could watch everything burn and pay your rent. If pained old age did not protect you, then even now you would sit as a captive among the Bacchae, being sacrificed like a pig for women like that who enjoy wine on the most insidious rites.
The audacity! Oh, stranger, do you not fear the gods? And Cadmus, who sowed the earth-born rain, as the son of Achaeon, do you disgrace your family?
Speak well, there's no issue. You're smart and pick a good basis for your argument. With good tongue, Pentheus, it's almost as if you're thinking. There is no thought in the things that you say. A brave man with a skill for speech makes a bad citizen if he does not know how to think. This new god that you deride cannot fully express how great you believe throughout all of Greece. Two things, boy, are foremost among men. First is the goddess Demeter, who nourishes mortals with the dry food and rain. You came after, Semele's child. He discovered its liquid counterpart, the juice of grain. It is this drink that gives us relief from our toil, this drink that grants us sleep, the only cure for our daily woes. It is with this drink we pour our libations to the gods. What, you sneer at him because you hear that he was sewn up in the thigh of Zeus? I'll show you that this too has good sense. For when Zeus raptured the babe from the thunder-stricken fire and brought him up to lofty Olympus, Hera wished to cast him back down again. So Zeus contrived this scheme against him. He tore off a piece of the encircling sky to give it to her as a hostage, thereby placating the goddess's wrath. With time, his mortals came to mistake the story that was a thigh, not the sky, and saved the young god. Oh, this god is a god of frenzy. For from him comes that madness that fills the bucket and causes her to speak prophecy. From him, that frenzy that causes a warrior to flee the battlefield before he even lays hold of his spear. In this is a share of the glory of both Ares and Apollo. Truly, he will be great throughout all of Greece. It's to me, Pentheus, do not boast of your moral authority. And if you form an opinion, but that opinion is erring, don't go thinking that you have thoughts at all. Rather, accept this new god into your lands, pour libations, put on a fawn skin, and dance in his rites. As for those women that you're so concerned about, indeed, the god's rights do not compel chastity, but they do not demand the opposite either. Whoever is chaste, will behave such, mysteries or no. See, it gladdens you when the crowd throngs your gates and extols the name of Pentheus. I think he too takes some joy in being honored so. So as for myself and Cadmus, at whom you sneer, we will crown our heads and prepare to dance. A great pair, perhaps, but nevertheless dance we shall. We won't be convinced by the likes of you to do battle with God. You're mad, Pentheus. Grievously so.
My child, Euripides has advised you, well with us, not cast away from customs. For now you flit about and think without having thoughts. For even if he is not a god, as you say, you should still call him such, and tell a good lie as it is, so that Semele may have seemed to give him birth to a god, and honor may be present to all in our bloodline. You would do well to remember the wretched doom of BACCHAE, who was torn asunder in the fields by the very hounds he raised himself, because he claimed to be better at hunting than Artemis. May you not suffer that same fate. Come, so I may crown your head and eye. Give honor to the gods with us.
Don't touch me! Go and revel, don't wipe off your folly on me. I'll go after justice against the one that has taught you to be this way. Let someone go to that chair where he watches the flight of birds, and he flip it backwards, upend everything, and release his garlands to the winds and storms. By doing this, I wish very much to sting him, and going through the city, you can trace that womanly stranger who brings new illnesses to women and dirties their beds. And if anyone can seize him, let them march him here, bound, so they may have it upon death by stoning. And then he will have seen a sharp Bacchic revelry in thieves.
Wretch! You know not what you say. God struck mad. Before you were devoid of thought. Come, Cadmus, let us go and pray on his behalf, savage though he may be, and on behalf of the city, that God to us no harm. Come with your staff wreathed in ivy, and try and support my own body, as I will yours. Shameful for two of men to stumble, but come, you must serve the Bacchic god. Listen to me, Cadmus. See to it that Pentheus does not usher any pain into your halls. Speak not of prophecy, but things as they are. Foolish men speak foolish.
Hallowed Queen of the Gods, hallowed you who carries golden wings across the earth.
Do you hear these things of Pentheus?
Do you hear his unholy insolence towards Bromius, to Semele, the first god at the merriment, where the blessed are beautifully garlanded? He holds this, to come into company with dances, to laugh with the owlos, and to stop anxieties. Whenever the gladness of the great comes to the festivities of the gods, and in ivy-wreathed festivities, the wine vessel throws sleep upon men. Misfortune is the end result of unbridled mouths and lawless folly. But the life of quiet and thought remain tranquil and holds houses together. For although they dwell far off in the sky, the gods see the mortals. And wiseness is not wisdom, and neither is the mortal's thinking. For life is short, and on this condition, someone who pursues great things does not bear what is present. This is the way of mad and ill-advised men, in my opinion. If I could have come to Cyprus, the island of Aphrodite, there are the loves that charm the mortals' hearts, and to Paphos, which is made fruitful without rain by the 100-mouthed streams of a foreign river, to the most beautiful seat of the Muses, the Piraea, the holy slopes of Olympus. Lead me to that place, Bromius. Bromius, the leader of the Bacchae, the god. There graces are, and there desire is. There it is legal for the Bacchae to celebrate their rites.
have not rushed fruitlessly. This man was waiting for us, and he did not withdraw nor attempt to escape, but gave himself willingly into our hands. He did not become pale, nor did his wine-colored cheeks change, but laughing, instructed us to bind him and lead him away, and stayed, making it easy. And I, with shame must admit, said, "Stranger, I myself do not lead you willingly, for it was Pentheus who sent for me. And the Bacchaes, whom you've shut in, whom you've carried off and bound with fetters in the common prison, have been let loose and are now long gone, now springing in the meadows and calling upon Bromius as their god. Their fetters loosen themselves from their feet of their own accord, and keys open doors without a mortal hand. This man has come to Thebes full of many wonders. It is necessary for you to take care of the rest."
Release his hands. He won't flee, isn't that right? Well, you're not a bad-looking man, strange one. To women, at least. That's why you came to Thebes, isn't it? Your hair is unkempt, but you're not poor with your blushing cheeks full of desire. Your skin is so white, but not by the sun, by moonlight and shadows, seeking Aphrodite with your sly beauty. So, tell me, who's your family?
Oh, this I can tell you quite easily. I won't lie. You know Flowery Tittles? Ever heard of it?
Yes, the city that circles Sardis.
I'm from there, and Lydia is my home.
You brought these rites to Greece from there?
The god Dionysus, son of Zeus, told me to.
So there is a kind of Zeus where you're from.
Kind of. Our gods are no different than yours. He's the same one who married your aunt.
I see. And did he compel you with sight?
He saw me as I saw him. He gave me the rights.
And what form are these rites?
That's private information. Not for the likes of you, uninitiated as you are.
Well, do they benefit the person who sacrifices?
Oh, certainly. But as to how they benefit, well,
Oh, you're leading me on. Now I'm curious.
one always seems ignorant speaking wisely to one who does not think well.
Is this the first place that you brought your god?
Every foreigner, far and wide, has been dancing in these rites.
Oh, well, they're brainless, unlike us Greeks.
Not in these matters, but laws are different out there.
And do you commit these acts during the day or at night?
Mostly at night. The darkness holds majesty.
Easier to deceive the simple-minded then, of course.
One can be deceived in the daytime, too.
Keep up this whole mysterious act, and there will be consequences.
And for you, too, for your impiety and willful foolishness.
How arrogant you are, how well-spoken, but without saying anything of substance.
And what are you going to do about that? What punishment shall I suffer at your command?
Well, first I'll have to cut off the rest of that hair.
But it's sacred. I'm growing it for the gods.
Give me that staff of yours.
Take it. It's my symbol of Dionysus.
Well, we'll guard you closely. He won't find you there.
He'll free me whenever I wish.
Yes, whenever you call him among the BACCHAE.
Even now he sees my suffering from nearby, you know.
Oh, really? Then where is he then? I can't see him.
I can. But you are too impious.
Seize him! He insults me and thieves.
Stop. Don't throw me in jail. I'm the rational one here, not you.
I am wiser than you are, and I command them.
You do not even know what you're doing, why you're here, or who you even are.
I am King Pentheus, the son of Euripides and Galway.
That name. Theus. How fitting. And how very unfortunate.
Go! Take him to the horse stable, or all he sees is darkness. Why don't you dance there? And as for these women that you've led as accomplices to your crimes, they will have to be sold or kept as slaves at the loom.
I will go. I won't suffer any more than is necessary. But this Dionysus, whom you claim is false, he will pursue you for these insults. In injuring us, you put him in bonds.
Daughter of Echolis, Queen Dirce, famed for fair maidens, for you ever took the child of Zeus in your streams, when immortal Zeus snatched the child from the fire, and then took his thigh, crying out at this.
Go, Dithyrambics, go into this, my male womb. I give you light, Bacchus, to call you by this name in Thebes.
But you, blessed Dirce, push me back, having in you my growing demand. Why do you reject me? Why do you flee me? Still, by the grace of Dionysus' grapevine, still you will care for Bromius. What kind of rage does the earthen family reveal, once having generated from a serpent, Pentheus, whom earthen Echion sowed? Wild-faced monster, not a mortal man, but like a bloody giant wrestling against the gods, who will presently bind me in nets, follower of Bromius. He already holds my companion inside the house, hidden in the dark prison. Do you behold this, O god's son Dionysus, your prophets in contest of restraints? Come down from Olympus, shaking your golden Thyrsus lord, and restrain the arrogance of the bloodthirsty man. Where, on Nysa, nourishing beasts, or on the top of Carycia, do you assemble your band with your Thyrsus? Perhaps in the thickly wooded dens of Olympus, there Orpheus once played the Kithara, bringing together trees with music, bringing together wild beasts. Oh, blessed Pieria, Leos awes at you, and he will come, dancing the Bacchic dances, and stepping across the swift-flowing Axios River, he will lead the turning Maenads and the Lydian fatherland, giver of bliss to mortals, who they hear anoints the land of horses with beautiful waters.
You! Hear me! Hear my voice! BACCHAE! BACCHAE!
Who is this? Who? From where's the sound of Leos' call to me?
Up here, I speak again, the child of Semele, the child of Zeus.
Master! Have an outdoor man! Oh, Bromius!
Oh, Bromius!
Shake the earth's ground, Mistress Earthquake.
Oh, soon in the house of Pentheus will be shaken into ruin. Dionysus is in the house. Worship him.
Oh, we worship!
up the house of Pentheus? Up, up, raise your bodies and be bold. You're trembling.
Oh, your greatest light for us in our joyous revelry. How glad I am to see you. I've been alone, in solitude.
Did you come into hopelessness when I was let in and shut into Pentheus's dark prison?
How not? Who was my guard? You, our misfortune.
But how are you set free, having met that profane man?
I freed myself easily, with hardly any work at all.
But did he not bind your hands together, Muses?
I was toying with him a bit in this, I must admit. He couldn't even think to tie me up, let alone handle or touch me. He was too busy feeding his own ego. Finding a bowl by the leading trough where I was meant to be shut in, he threw bindings around its knees and hooves, dripping sweat, breathing spirit, pressing his teeth to his lips. Meanwhile, I sat idly by, content to observe from the sidelines. But just then, Bromius came and shook the house of Pentheus and set a fire on his mother's tomb. And Pentheus, seeing this, as it seemed that his house was burning, yelled for his servants to bring water, to come quickly. And every single one obeyed, working tirelessly and fruitlessly. But just then, seeing as this work was being carried out, Pentheus rushed back into the burning house and snatched a dark sword. And then, as it seems to me, and I always speak my opinion, Bromius came and made a phantom appear in the courtyard. Pentheus rushed at it headlong, stabbing at the shining air as though he were slaughtering me. Besides this, Bromius did other damage to him. He shook the house into pieces, all while Pentheus kept seeing visions of my bitter chains. Exhausted from fatigue, he dropped his sword, spent. For he, a man, dared to do battle with a god. But now I have quietly left the house and come to you with no further thought of Pentheus.
What terrible things I've suffered. And that stranger's escaped. He was in chains. What happened? There you are. How did you come here in front of my house? How are you here now? Tell me.
Stop. Control your temper.
How have you escaped your bonds and come outside?
Did I not say, or did you not hear, that someone would free me?
Who? Stop being so mysterious.
The one who gives us mortals wine. Who else? The one whom you reproach.
Close the city. Close the towns.
Why? Gods can pass over walls.
Oh, you're wise, but in the wrong subject.
I was born wise in all that I should be. But hey, listen to this. He's come from the mountain all this way just to give you a message. Don't worry. I'll wait. I won't try to escape in the meantime.
Pentheus, ruler of this Theban land, I have come just from Bithyron where it never ceases to snow.
Yes, what news have you brought?
I have seen holy BACCHAE, and I need to tell you and everyone aboard that they are committing terrible acts, greater than one could ever imagine. But please tell me, Lord, if I should speak plainly or request the truth. For I fear your choleric temperament, your quickness to wit, and your exceeding painliness.
Speak plainly. I would never blame or be angry with an honest man. Whatever terrible things they have done, twofold will I exact punishment upon whoever set them to their task.
The herds of animals were just climbing the rock. It was sunny, and I saw 3 groups of dancing women. The first led by your mother Agawe, the second by Atanawe, and the third by Pino. Later, I saw them sleeping and relaxing, leaning back against the trees. Many see but mothers. Your mother Agawe cried out in the middle to wake the women because she saw a cow nearby. And they shook the fresh sleep from their eyes. How it thronged to see old, young, and virgins alike stand up and listen. First, they let their hair fall to their shoulders, and they fastened their fawn skins which had become loosened. They crowned their head in ivy and oak and flower and holly. And then one took her thyrsus and slammed it into a rock, sending forth a spring of water. The others took hers to the ground. The Dionysus sent forth a spring of wine, enough for those present, and they dug at the ground with their fingers and sipped from the stream as their fierce drips sweet honey. If you were there, Lord, you would now praise the God that you know. Us herdsmen and shepherds gathered around to decide what to do. A wanderer from the city asked us if we wished to do good for the king and take your mother out of her Bacchic frenzy. We agreed. And so we laid in ambush, hiding in the leaves as the women cried to the god and shook their fierce sword. Agave got close to me, and so I leapt out and tried to take her, but she screamed out and cried, "My leaping hounds, we are mere prey to these men. Attack with your fierce sword!" So we fled and escaped, nearly being torn apart by the Bacchae, but they started towards the grazing calves. If you were there, Lord, you would see your mother Agave ripping one apart with her bare hands, whose others following. You would have seen the hoofs and the ribs cast all about in the trees, dripping warm blood. The bulls that were violent before shook their horns, but they were thrown to the ground and destroyed by numerous maidens. Flesh spread faster than eyes could gleam. Like raging birds, they moved across Cathiron, and 2 mountains at the bottom, Histius and Etheirus, were turned upside down. The Bacchae snatched children from houses, and some of the townsfolk got together to attack the Bacchae. This was a terrible sight to see, Lord. The weapons did no damage. The Bacchae hurled their fierce sword, actually hitting them, which caused the men to turn and flee. And then they moved back up the mountain to the fountain that the gods had dug for them. Whoever this God is, Lord, I implore you to welcome him into the city. He is great in many ways, and I even heard that he gives mortals the wine that ends pain altogether. And without wine, there is no sex, nor other delight for men either.
I am frightened to say the words freely to the king envious, but nevertheless, it must be said. Dionysus is lesser than none of the gods.
Go. Like fire, the Bacchae spreads, but I won't back down or cower. Go to Electra's gates and tell the men of the city to gather there with their swords and axes and bows. And then we'll see who's stronger, the Bacchae or us.
You are too stubborn, Pentheus. Though you've done evil to me, I really do think you shouldn't raise weapons against the god. Relax. Dionysus will not let you displace these women.
Who are you to be giving me orders? Shouldn't you be glad to be free, or should I have you imprisoned again?
I would rather sacrifice to him than to throw a tantrum. He is a god, after all.
Oh, I'll sacrifice, all right. Those incendiary women who are just stirring up trouble at Cathiron and disrupting our peaceful way of life.
I can see it now, you and your ragtag army getting thrown off the mountain by those women.
You're not even cowering. You're odd.
There is a way to set things right, you know.
Oh, what, I drop the crown and become a servant?
I'll leave the Bacchae here, without weapons.
Stop trying to manipulate me.
I swear I'm not. I'm trying to help you.
No, you'll make a feast out of me, I know it.
It's a good plan. It'll benefit us both.
Bring me my weapons. And you, shut up.
I see. You wish to see them up there, don't you?
Oh, well, yes, I'd give all my money just to see.
Why? What changed?
I would be sorry to see them drunk, never mind.
But you would see what saddens you regardless?
Well, you know it yourself. Sitting silently among the pines, quiet.
But if you go up there, the women will be caught.
Yes, it would be too obvious, you know that.
I could take you, if you want.
That's really? Let's go then. There's no use sitting around. Or what should I do you think?
Well, first put on a dress, of course.
What? I have to dress as a woman to go up there? Why?
You'll be slaughtered if you're seen as a man.
Ah, you're right. I'm impressed. Have you always been this intelligent?
Dionysus himself taught me. But come, I'll dress you.
But in what clothing? Surely not women's. That's so embarrassing.
What's this? Where has the man who would have spent all his money gone? Have you suddenly lost interest?
Well, but what would you even do to me?
Well, fix that hair, for starters.
Then what else?
Well, a long white dress and a headband, perhaps.
What else?
Well, a holy foreskin and a thyrsus, too.
But I can't. I can't wear women's clothing.
Then you'll wear your own blood instead. To do otherwise would be to start a war.
You're right. I'll have to be a spy. That's it.
It's better than fighting fire with fire.
No, but the people of Thebes, how will we get by without them seeing me?
We'll take deserted roads. I'll lead you.
As long as I'm not a laughingstock. Come, let's go into the house. We can deliberate there.
I'm ready when you are.
I'll go no matter what, whether with sword or with disguise.
Women. This man is caught in our snare. He will go to the BACCHAE and die tonight. Now I'll go, as I'm not far off. First, I'll make him out of his mind, lightheaded with madness. Well, that's the only way he'll wear women's clothing, after all. Then I'll lead him through Thebes so that everyone can point and laugh at his ridiculous getup. How hilarious it'll be after all those nasty threats from before. But now I must go and dress him in his womanly best, as that's how he'll go to meet Hades after being ripped apart by his own mother. And then, perhaps he'll finally come to know me, Dionysus, son of Zeus. And in the end, even a god who is most terrible is still kind to those who are worthy.
Do I put my bare feet to dancing in the chorus all night long, like a fawn throwing its stiffy neck to the sky, when it would flee the fearful hunt out from the watch beyond the well-twisted nets, and shouting, the huntsman braces the dogs in their course. With toil and storm-swift running, she springs on the plain, along the river, rejoicing in solitude for mortals in the shaded woods.
What is wisdom, or what better prize from gods to mortals?
What is more beautiful
Than to hold their hand over the heads of enemies?
That which is beautiful is always dear.
It is scarcely set in motion, but nevertheless, divine strength is trusted. It sets straight mortals that honor folly and do not glorify the gods with their mania. And they conceal intricately the long foot of time and hunt the unholy. For it is not better to know and attend to the law, ever. For it is a light expense to judge. This has strength, something which is divine, and law in great time is eternal and produced in nature.
What is wisdom, or what better prize from gods to mortals?
What is more beautiful
Than to hold their hand over the heads of enemies?
That which is beautiful is always dear.
Blessed who has fled the winter storm from the sea, and blessed who has overcome hardship. One man surpasses another in different ways, in happiness and in power. But still, there are countless hopes for the countless. Some end in happiness for mortals, and some nothing. And I deem blessed anyone whose life is happy every day.
Come out heretic so eager to see what you shouldn't pursue? Yes, yes, you, Pentheus, I can't see you in there. Come out, I want to see you all dressed up like a buffoon. Oh my, you look like one of Cadmus's daughters.
Explain this. I see 2 sons and 2 Phoebeses, and you, sir, you look like a bull leading me out here with horns and everything. Have you always been an animal? You are one now, I'm certain of it.
Don't worry, it's the gods doing. At first he was angry with you, but now he accepts you.
But how do I look? Like I know, or my mother?
I see them in you. Oh, but look, your hairs come unclipped from the headband.
I was shaking my head and jumping around. I was practicing. I must have gotten carried away.
Well, never mind that. I'm your servant now, aren't I? Stand up straight.
You're my costumer. I've put this on for you.
Well, your girdle's loose. And your dress isn't pleated correctly over this ankle.
Yes, but look how nice it looks on the other one.
Well, these women dress modestly. Once you see, I'll be your dearest friend.
Oh, the fierceness. Tell me, how should I hold it? In my left hand or my right? Which is better for dancing?
Well, right. And then you lift the same leg in time with it. Oh, wow. Look at you. You've changed your mind.
I feel so strong. I can carry a Chiron on my shoulders along with all these women.
Well, you have the power to. Before your mind was ignorant, now look at you.
Let's rip the forest up, root by root. I want to shake and dance.
As long as you don't touch the land sacred to Pan and the nymphs, you may do as you like. But the women might see you if you make a scene.
Oh, good point. I'll hide.
Yes, you should be quiet and find a good spot.
I can see them already, in complete ecstasy, dancing around and drinking. How enthralling.
Well, that's why you're going. To stop their behavior.
Let's go. Leave me. Come on. I'm the only man in these parts. I'm braver than the whole lot.
You alone suffer for this city, Pentheus. You alone. But come, follow me. I am your guide. But remember, another will lead you back.
Yes, the one who bore me.
You'll be famous.
That's why I'm really going.
You will return, be cradled in
What a
your
luxury.
mother's arms.
Oh, you're spoiling me. I can't stand it.
Spoiling you, well, in my own way. Yes.
I deserve it.
Terrible. You are terrible, Pentheus, and you will suffer terribly, as you deserve. Your glory will be through dying. Reach out your hands, Agave, and you, kindred daughters of Cadmus. I lead your villain to you. This is how we win.
Go to the mountain! Quick, hounds of madness! There the daughters of Cadmus hold their band. Go madness upon him, the frantic spy of the Maenads. The one disguised as a woman. His mother will be the first to see him from a smooth or sharp rock, and keep an eye on them. She will call to the Maenads.
Who is this seeker of the mountain-treading Cadmeans? Who has come to the mountain? Come to the mountain, BACCHAE!
Who bore him?
For he was not produced by the blood of a woman, but the progeny of some lioness or Libyan Gorgon.
Go, let clear justice go. Let it go with sword in hand, slaying right through the throat. The godless,
Lawless,
honorless,
earthborn offspring of Echion.
whoever with unjust thought and lawless rage about your rights, Bacchus, and those of your mother, goes with raving chest and frenzied conscience, as wooing with force the unconquerable. Death is the soundness of thought, offering no excuse into the matters produced of the gods. Painless life is human. Let clear justice go. Let it go with sword in hand, slaying right through the throat the unholy.
Unlawful, unjust, earthborn offspring of Echion.
Appear as a bull or many-headed serpent or blazing lion to be seen. Go with laughing countenance, throwing a noose around the hunter of the BACCHAE as he falls under the flock of Maenads.
O house that used to be most prosperous in Greece, of the old Sidonian man who sailed in the land, the earthborn crop of the serpent Ophis. How deeply I sighted you. But regardless, I need my message to be received.
What is it?
Do you reveal news from the BACCHAE? Pentheus, the son of Echion, has been murdered. Lord Burlington, you appear to be a great god. What are you saying? Why do you say that? Do you really rejoice in the death of my lord? I sing foreign songs with a foreign woman, for I'm no longer coward under fear of fetter. And in this way you lead husbandless thieves!
Dionysus, not thieves, having my strength.
You may be pardoned yet, but it is not good to rejoice in violence.
Tell to me, relate to me, what death did he die? The unjust man who contrived unjust things.
We left for Catharba. Pentheus and I, along with that stranger who was our guide. First we sat in a grassy valley, staying quiet so that they wouldn't hear us. And there was a ravine surrounded by cliffs where the Maenads sat.
Some of them had ivy on their head and held a thyrsus.
Others sang a Bacchic melody. And stubborn Pentheus told the stranger that he couldn't see the Bacchants and that he was going to climb a tree. At that point, I saw the stranger work some strange magic.
He took a branch off a nearby tree and pulled
Pulled it down to the dark earth, almost like a bow. This was no mortal. Pentheus, unscathed, sat upon it, and the stranger took extra careful not to throw him off as he straightened the branch again. But the women saw him. He was out in the open. Suddenly, the stranger disappeared, and a booming voice cried out all around us.
Women, this man has insulted us and our rights. Avenge in the name of Dionysus!
A light of holy fire flashed from the heavens. Then, silence. You would not have heard the sounds of animals. The woman stood straight up and looked around. Again the voice shouted, and the daughters of Cadmus knew their master's orders. They moved quickly, springing through the wintry veils in a state of madness. Finally, they found Pentheus sitting up in that pine. They started throwing rocks at him, and then javelins. Some even hurled their thyrsi, but they did not hit the poor king. He sat high up, clinging to the tree helplessly. At last they pulled on it, and Agave cried,
"Come, circle round and take a branch, Bacchants, so that we may capture the climbing beast, so that he may not disclose the secret dances of the god."
They placed countless hands upon the pine, tearing it from the roots. Pentheus fell from his seat and was thrown through the dark earth, crying out. He knew trouble was near. First his mother fell upon him, beginning the slaughter. But Pentheus tore the headband from his head, hoping that his own mother would recognize him, wailing out, crying, reaching for her cheek.
"It's me, mother, your son, Pentheus. You gave birth to me in the house of your father, Cadmus. Have pity on me. Please don't kill me for my mistakes. I'm sorry."
But she was too far into madness, foaming at the mouth and rolling her eyes back, surely possessed by Dionysus himself. His words meant nothing. She held his arm in her hand and tore it out from its socket. Ino grabbed the other arm and tore it off, and Autonomy and the rest went on. They were shouting together now, drowning out his sobs with whatever breath he had left. One of them grabbed his arm, another a foot, with the shoe still on, no less. His ribs were mangled, and every hand was bloody from the slaughter. Parts of him lay strewn about, some as close as on nearby rocks, others thrown deep into the wooded forest. His head was taken by his mother, and in one swift motion impaled it on the point of her thyrsus, like that of a wild lion displayed as a prize. She's coming now, down unlucky prey, calling Bacchus her fellow hunter, her comrade in the chase, both of them glorious victors. But she will only be rewarded in tears. Forgive me. I said all that I can. I leave you with this misfortune before Gawain returns. To be clear-minded and fearful of the gods is best. That is the wisest thing that we, as mortals, can do.
Let us begin the Bacchic dance. Let us cry out what has become of Pentheus, the offspring of a serpent.
Who, dressing in womanly wear, fiercest, a pledge to Hades, he took the beautiful wand, a bull, his guide to his misfortune.
Cadmean Bacchae,
You achieved an illustrious, glorious victory to lamentation and to tears. A beautiful contest to cover your dripping hands in the blood of her child. But look, I see Pentheus' mother, Gawain, rushing home, eyes rolling. Welcome the merriment of the joyous god.
Oh, Buckins!
You called?
I've come home with a prize, look!
I see, and I welcome you, fellow reveler.
I have killed this animal with my bare hands too. A lion, see?
From which mountain?
Kithiron.
Kithiron?
Slaughtered him.
Who struck him?
Me first. I am the blessed one, blessed Agawe.
Who did the rest?
Cadmus's daughters. They struck the beast after me, those dear sisters of mine. Now, come, let's eat.
What? Eat?
What are you saying?
He is young. His mane has just started to come in.
Fitting. His hair is like a lion's.
Bacchus is a wise hunter. He urged us to kill the beast.
Our Lord is quite the hunter.
Do you praise him?
I praise him, yes.
And presently, Cadmus's lot
And your child Pentheus, too.
will praise me for killing this animal.
Extraordinary.
Extraordinarily indeed, yes.
Are you excited?
I have achieved great, great things. I rejoice.
Now, wretched one, show the Thebans your prey, from carrying in victory.
O dwellers of the beautifully towered Theban land, come so that you may see this prey, which we, the daughters of Cadmus, have hunted, not with thrown Thessalian javelins, nor cast nets, but with the fingers of our very own arms. When is it necessary to boast and use in vain the work of spear makers? But we captured and tore apart the joints of this beast with our own bare hands. Where is my father? Have him come here. And where is my child Pentheus? Have him take a ladder and raise its steps against the house so that he can pin to the eaves this head of the lion which I have hunted and presented.
Come, follow me. Lay Pentheus down over here. I searched for him tirelessly. I found his limbs lying peacefully in the woods, like a cat. Only he was difficult to recognize. And I'd heard what my daughters had done. I was already home, walking with the old man Tiresias. Someone told me, rumor at first. So I turned back to the mountain to bring the child home. I saw Tonaway, mother of Aristeon and Actaeon, and Ino too, were driven wild up into the trees, hysterical. Someone told me you came here a foot ago. It wasn't a lie. Look at you.
Father, look at my greatest boast. I've never done anything like it. And, Father, I carry this lion in my arm, as you see. Hang it in your home, won't you? Aren't you proud of me? Take it, touch it, look at it, excite yourself in my prey, call your friends to a banquet. We are blessed, Father, blessed.
I can't look. slaughter you've performed with your bare hands, and you call it a banquet. First your trouble, then mine. The gods have devastated this family.
Why are you looking at me with such hatred? You're too sullen and gray. My son is a good hunter. He hunts with the young men of Thebes, proud and calm as he kills. Where do you think he learned such a talent? You haven't even called him yet. He will laugh and rejoice with me. Call him. We are so lucky.
You aren't even aware of what happened. Please, you need to come down from this state. You need to realize what you've done, what a wretched thing you've committed.
But my slaughter of this beast is good, not wretched.
Look up at the sky, please.
Why?
Is it bright or dark? The same as before.
It is brighter. I feel like I'm looking at the heavens.
And is your soul still distracted by this?
I can feel my body, but my mind is still cloudy.
Can you hear and answer someone clearly?
It's coming back.
Please, answer this. Who is your husband?
Echion. It was Echion.
And who is your son?
Pentheus, my beautiful boy.
And whose head do you hold in your hands?
A lion's. I hunted him.
Look. Really look. Feel his hair on his face.
What do I hold? What do I feel?
Look closer, please.
I see, oh God, no!
He resembles a lion, but he isn't, is he?
Pentheus! My son! My son!
Yes.
Who killed him, Father?
I can't say.
Please, tell me.
Along with your sisters.
Where did he die? Here, at home?
Where the hounds of Actaeon devoured him. Died.
Oh. No, why did he go there?
He went to talk to God.
But why was I there?
We were driven mad, dear one. The whole city was celebrating us.
He destroyed us. He destroyed us!
You didn't consider him a god. He was insulted by him.
And where is the body of my son, Father?
I found him all around. Brought him.
Is this all of him?
No.
Why did he partake in this?
He took after you. He saw it as a party, an escape. I nicely linked the two of you together by committing this act. He destroyed this home completely. We cast out in dishonor after something like this. We were good people. But that doesn't matter now. Oh, dearest golden one. I can no longer be with you. No longer can you touch my wet cheek gently, holding me in your arms, whispering, "Who wronged you, grandfather? Who dishonored you? What troubles your heart? Tell me so I can punish them and bring you peace." Now we are gone and forgotten.
I weep for you, Cadmus. Pentheus deserved this, not you.
Oh, Father, how can you forgive me?
Cadmus! Now you will come to know what else cruel fate has in store for and your wedded wife Harmonia, daughter of Ares, shall change shape, taking the form of serpents. Writhing together on your bellies, you shall lead an ox cart before a great foreign host. So says the prophecy of Zeus. But when this host comes to sack the oracle at Delphi, Apollo's oracle, they will have for themselves a wretched homecoming. But Ares will save the two of you and make for you both a life in the land of the blessed. You could have been living a blessed life at this very moment, having me as an ally, and if you were a God-fearing man. But instead you refused to do so. That, at least, would have made you happy.
Dionysus, please. We've done wrong.
You learned too late, Cadmus, and when it was necessary, you did not praise me fully.
We've come to realize this, but you're going too far.
You insulted me.
God shouldn't act like humans.
Zeus foretold this long ago.
Oh, Father, what an awful fate.
Don't delay. Go!
The terrible evil has come over us. I should you, your sisters, and me. I will go to a new land as an old form. Harmonia will come with me.
Oh, Father, I will be without you.
As you hold me. As you hold me like a young swan protecting an old mother. Grey and helpless.
Where will I go? My home is not my home.
I do not know. Your father is not my child.
Goodbye, then.
Go now, child.
I will miss you.
And I you, and your sisters.
This house is dead. Father, farewell.
Farewell, faithful daughter.
Come, O guides, to where my pitiable sisters are. We shall take them as fellow exiles. And may I go wherever stained Kithyron may not see me, nor where I may see Kithyron with my two eyes, where memorials are not laid up for the Thyrsus. They are objects of care now for other BACCHAE.
Many are the forms of the divine.
And many things the gods accomplish unexpectedly.
The things having been expected are not completed.
And the god found a path for the unexpected.
This matter has departed.